Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to ESOC TV. I'm here with some of my colleagues. Could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, good morning. My name is Märit. I'm a neurologist from Hamburg in Germany.
Good morning. I'm Anita Arsovska from Skopje, North Macedonia.
I'm Rustam Al-Shahi, Salman, a neurologist from Edinburgh in Scotland.
My name is Ellis from Etten. I'm a neurologist at the Leiden University Medical Center from the Netherlands. And we're here to talk about the education that ESO organizes. Rustam, would you like to start with some news about the upcoming workshop?
Yeah, well, there's a huge amount of educational activity going on in ESO, so it's hard to know where to start really. But if you want to start with me, maybe we can go backwards in seniority. So later this year, we're going to be hosting the 7th European Stroke Science Workshop, which happens every 2 years and is a place for translational science to be discussed by an invited group of experts. And I've been chair of it this year and in 2023. And the thing we've changed, which I've been really excited about, is to extend lower the average age, put it like that, and extend the workshop to a group of people who often fall between the very senior educational activities that are supported, for example, by this conference, and the much earlier activities that are supported by the young stroke physicians and researchers. So those mid-career researchers between PhD and being a full professor now have the ability to apply to that workshop, come and present their research vision and discuss it with the experts there. And for me, that was a really energetic, interesting time, and it was so good, it's going to be repeated again this year.
That sounds great. Anita, what about the webinars? Could you tell us something about that?
Yes, of course. As a member of the Education Committee, together with other members of this committee, chaired by Professor Anna Bersano from Milan, Italy, we are organizing a series of webinars on different topics throughout the year, and we aim for excellence in terms of selecting the topics and speakers, but we are also aware that we have to give space for young researchers to present their work. So the format of the webinar is actually very nice because it starts with a case presentation of a younger colleague on a certain topic, and then the senior colleague in the webinar describes in more detail this entity, starting from etiology, pathophysiology, diagnosis and treatment, and of course we always leave time for discussion at the end from questions from the audience. And these webinars are really very exciting because there are so many questions. Sometimes there is no time to answer everything, and it is very important to emphasize that they are open for the registered participants, but also if somebody cannot attend the webinar at a certain point of time, then they are uploaded at the ESTEP platform. So the ESTEP platform is another educational platform where besides these webinars, also educational content from individual members is uploaded, as well as presentations from the ESO conference.
Yes, and I think these webinars are very well attended because it's also very convenient to just watch them from home. Yes, or at a later moment.
Yes, and we always try to have topics that are current, that would increase the interest of the audience, to present something interesting, something from the everyday clinical practice. Sometimes we present clinical scenarios of challenging cases where we really strive to think about the proper diagnosis. So that is why they are so very well attended by the audience.
And really topical as well. You know, the last one was on artificial intelligence in stroke care, and here we are at this conference seeing a randomized control trial of artificial intelligence in stroke care. So
yes, well, I was involved in the stroke mimics webinar where a younger colleague presented a challenging case, and then I had an overview of all possible stroke mimics, and then there were a lot of questions after the webinar with a very engaging discussion from the audience.
Thank you. Märit, could you tell us something about the reviewer program?
Yeah, so the reviewer program is part of the Young Stroke Physicians and Researchers Committee. So we select around 10 young researchers that are part of the program then, and within the European Stroke Journal they get to review articles with the help of experienced mentors, and I think it's a great communications between the mentors and the mentees, and get to think maybe about some articles in another way, because I think everybody has their own way to really get into an article, into a manuscript, into a topic, and I think if you have an impact from another one, it's really nice to get into several topics of stroke. And you also see what's coming in, how's the quality, so this is really nice. It's our second round.
Yes.
Yes, yep. And it's working really nice. And we finally select a candidate that has been voted the best. Mm-hmm. And I think that's also something that really pushes the participants to really do great. I think if we have something like this, we can.
Yeah, and even if you don't have that much experience with reviewing, we give the mentees a document that helps them to write a comprehensive review, and then the mentors, they see if there's anything to add. So I think even for the more unexperienced young researchers, it's really good to apply for this program.
Yeah, and you can really see how they are developing. And then after that, I think they also get really involved to get their own reviews in the European Stroke Journal. Ken Lees is really supportive in that, and I think it's a good way to really get into reviewing articles, and in the way of getting into editorial boards or going on from that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And of course, as our viewers know, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, and now Cerebrovascular Diseases has set up exactly the same sort of program for new reviewers. So it just shows what a good idea it is.
And then for the ESO summer school, that is something that when I was a bit younger, I attended, I think it was in 2018, I went to the Berlin version, and I think it was super inspiring to see all these international speakers, and also start my own small European network. That's the first time where I met some people that I still know today, and I think this is also a great way for young researchers to really start their career, and but of course networking is a big part of that. And there's also a science workshop in Edinburgh.
That's right. It used to be called the winter school to make it different from the summer school, because it's always winter in Edinburgh. But then there's another winter school, of course, so we've called it the ESO Edinburgh Stroke Research Workshop. So that's another thing aimed at young stroke physicians and researchers who are inspired to go into stroke medicine and are thinking about developing a research question for them to answer in maybe a PhD or later on. And the idea is they come with a loosely formed idea, and then they spend time shaping it in Edinburgh, testing it out, writing a mock grant application, having to defend it, and then coming out after having had a lot of fun and done a lot of work late at night on their presentation for the final day, with hopefully an idea that's well formed that they can then take for a funding application or to do a PhD.
Very valuable to get some feedback from peers.
In a safe environment.
I think, yes.
I've been attending this workshop in 2020, I think. It's where I first met you. I also had a research idea, and was really nice to get really into contact with the different colleagues and get some impact or input on my topic. It was actually the first project I got funding then, so I have really good memories for the winter workshop.
Yes,
and
the rest is history. You know.
Yeah, I also attended the stroke summer school a long time ago in Moros in Switzerland. It was organized by Professor Patrick Michel, and it really was so inspirational for me. I met all the famous professors in the field, and I also met colleagues whom I communicate even today, and now they are very well-known members of ESO, fellows of ESO, and this was really a moment for me where I started to broaden my horizon in the stroke field, and I was so inspired and decided to make changes for improvement of stroke care in my country. And last year I had the honor to organize the ESO Focus Workshop. It was on rare causes of stroke, and we held it in Ohrid Lake, by the lake, in a very beautiful natural environment. And I had speakers from ESO, and there were approximately 30 attendees, 2 by country, so from the whole European countries. And they had a great time, and we all learned a lot about rare causes of stroke, and the feedback was magnificent, really.
Yeah, and I think we have many good examples of the focus workshop. I've been to the aneurysm version. Did you ever go to a focus workshop? You should. Yeah, it's nice.
This year it was organized by Anna Bersano in Milan. It was on cerebral amyloidosis, it was angiopathy, and it was really very, very well attended. And we also learned again a lot about this particular topic.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So we also have the ESO blog.
Yeah.
And I think we did a pretty good job last year, right? With
yeah. So the ESO blog is a blog also run by the YSPR, by the committee, and we select, like every week, if we can make it, a specific topic on hot topics and stroke research, but also on webinars, for example, or of course when now is the ESOC, we present some topics from that. And besides the committee members, we also have applications from guest bloggers, so-called, and they can just make some suggestions for topics. What they are really interested in should not be only like the big topics, but we also like to have like smaller topics, clinical cases, and I think this is really nice to get an overview, but also for younger colleagues to get into writing blogs, how to communicate research, their own research questions. I think this is really, really going well.
Yeah, we can mention also the paper of the month, because you're also in the working group.
Paper of the month.
Paper of the month. So this is a very nice initiative from ESO. So once a month we select a paper that contributes greatly to a certain topic in the field of stroke. Of course, we issue a call, so not just the working group of the paper of the month, but also other ESO members can contribute, send their suggestions for a certain paper, and then we have an internal voting system, and then by the 15th of the current month we select this paper, and then in the next couple of days we publish it with a short commentary on the ESO website. So this is also another way to promote research in Europe. So we usually tend to promote researchers that are ESO members, but not only. We also promote research that is important for Europe and publish in the European Stroke Journal, but also in other important journal in this field. So this is like an open call for all members to contribute to this very important initiative as well.
And back to the YSPR, I think it's worth mentioning that we every year have a workshop at the conference. So again, starting on Wednesday, we had the science workshop where 2 senior speakers, you did it last year, give a short presentation on a topic that is linked to career building. And then 4 young researchers are asked to pitch their research idea, and then the senior speakers give some feedback. Could you maybe tell us something about last year? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was great fun. I mean, again, you're just exposed to the enthusiasm of people starting out on their career. So for old men like me, whose energy is slowly decreasing, you feel really refreshed by these new ideas, and also how open to feedback so many people are. You know, it's a real growth mindset there and positive community. So it was fun to be there, and I think you usually bring in 2 people who are more advanced in their careers, which also gives a nice compare and contrast between 2 opinions, because one senior person's opinion doesn't really count. There are many different opinions. So I thought it was an energetic meeting, and really links in nicely with all these other things that you're describing in the ESO educational program. You know, what's missing?
Yeah, what would you say is missing for younger colleagues? What are the challenges actually?
Well, we have been thinking about how we could, again, with all the new developments in advanced techniques, also shed some light on just old school neurological exams. And we're, after ESOC, we're launching this new program, which we've called Back to Bedside, in which we present clinical cases that have something challenging, and in which there is something, the clue is really in the neurological exam. And we will try to present these cases, I think, every month, and make them available on eStep to really help young physicians also to keep in mind that basis of neurology is really talking to the patient, taking a good neurological exam, and together with the advanced technique, make them the best physician possible.
It's amazing, really. Yeah.
It's also really nice to get an insight in how different countries maybe, or different regions treat their patients. So I'm really looking forward to get this started, and
Yeah, that's great, really. Yeah, we aim to harmonize stroke care across Europe. So every patient, regardless of the place of living, has equal access to stroke care. That's the main point, actually.
All right, I think we've covered quite a lot, and I think we can wrap up. Wish everyone a nice rest of the conference.
Yes, bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a great
Bye.
ESOC.
bye.